Forced my hand and we gotta talk about it. Hi, I'm Warren with Crackerjack Games. If you like cool cards and hot deck techs, be sure to like, follow, subscribe, and share this video. Now, a lot of you know I've been playing a lot of Rograk and Thrasios lately, and that's left my red, black, and white cards kind of neglected. So we had to put together Zaddy Farm. Of course, the big Zaddy, Dargo the Shipwrecker. A 1-mana 7/5 with Trample and Partner. And with those kinds of stats, you know he's combo-centric. You might be saying, well, that's 7 mana. Nope, he costs 2 less for everything you've sacrificed on a given turn. And like I mentioned, we're going to pair him up with all my black and white cards, and that means Tymna the Weaver. Get to attacking, pay some life, draw some cards, keep the hand full. Something that Mardu doesn't really do typically. So the deck's playing all kinds of Mardu cards, typical Tymna stuff like Ranger Captain of Eos, Professional Facebreaker to make even more treasures, which are essentially Black Lotuses when you're trying to cast Dargo. The silence effects that you get from white, Silence, Voice of Victory, Grand Abolisher, they're all in there. Maybe the second best black-white legend in cEDH, Lotho Corrupt Sheriff. And we even have some new cards. Sephiroth Fabled Soldier makes it into the deck. We're going to be sacrificing Dargo over and over again in a perfect world, so we might as well drain the opponents. We're going to be sacrificing Dargo over and over again, so we might as well play Mayhem Devil and just fire around some damage as needed. And I don't know if you've ever Ruthless Techromancered your Dargo, but that's 7 treasures. Combo cards in the deck include Beseech the Mirror. We're going to have tokens aplenty to get rid of. And 7 treasures goes really well into Peer in the Abyss to draw half our deck. I like the sound of that. We are playing an Ad Nauseam deck, but you know what? Sometimes you just gotta take the risk. We've got Tainted Pact, so we can Forbidden Tutor to any card in our deck. And we've got the big mana sacrifices, like Sacrifice to make a bunch of black mana, and Burnt Offering to make a bunch of black and or red mana. Make a ton of that mana and cast a Bolus of Citadel and use the top of our deck to win. It means we're playing Sensei's Divining Top to get the Storm real high. Other sacrifice outlets include Goblin Bombardment, and it doesn't really matter what copy you play, even this Wild of Eldraine one. How about we mill everybody out with Altar of Dementia? That seems real good. Now, one of the real cards that lets us do all of this is Relic of Legends. At some point, you're going to have so many sacrifices that Dargo always costs 1. Well, if with a sacrifice outlet and Relic of Legends, you can tap Dargo for a red, then sacrifice him to get whatever benefit you're going to use, and use that red mana to recast Dargo and tap him for 1 and sacrifice him again, and repeat the loop. And that's really what you're trying to get to. And everything kind of builds towards that. To help make our cause, we're doing Underworld Breach stuff. We got Savine's Reclamation, Lion's Eye Diamond, all those good pieces. And then one of my favorite gets for the deck in the last couple of years is Altar of the Wretched. You will never ever need the back side of this card, I promise. But the front side is enter, sacrifice a non-token creature, Dargo, draw 7 cards, mill 7 cards. That's a refill for 3 mana, and a sacrifice to make Dargo cost 2 less that turn. And if all else fails, we've got Dual Caster Mage and Molten Duplication and Twin Flame. Make yourself a bunch of hasty Dual Caster Mages and get beaten. One of the downfalls of all-in Storm decks is usually that they can't just play with the table until it's time. Well, with Tymna you can. We've got enough creatures to do the thing. Dargo has Trample, so even if we're playing him early to smash people in the face and draw a card, that's not terrible. You can check out the full deck list in my Mox field. I'll leave the link in the comments. But if you're thinking you don't want to play blue and all your green cards are tied up, give Mardu Storm a real try. After all, Zaddy is a state of mind. Hope this helps.